Tuesday. Time for another episode of Mart Radio.
Oh, did you miss me? Well, guess what? I'm selling it. That's right, and I'm going to keep on selling it.
It's the Mart Radio Show.
Some of it you're going to like, some of it you ain't.
Mart Radio.
Well, once again, welcome to the Mart Radio Show. Boy, I'm so excited to be back here after all these holidays, and I hope y'all are excited to be back too. So we're going to start this thing out tonight with just checking on y'all to see how you've been doing. And we're going to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions. I know this particular year I did set a New Year's resolution because I tried to tell myself that there's something I really want to do this year. And I just want to do something to help someone. I want to be able to be a blessing to someone this year. A little bit more than last year. So I guess you can say that's a New Year's resolution. How about y'all?
Me, I didn't make a New Year's resolution this year, but I can say that a lot of times I think that I'm taken for granted because of my soft-heartedness, and you know, I'm willing to do things for people, help people out, but I don't like to be taken for granted. So I did say that I'm not going to hold my tongue too much this year. If I have something on my chest that I need to say, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to keep it bottled in. I'm going to say it in a nice way, but I'm going to get it off of me.
You can say whatever you need to say.
Thank you, Miss Beth.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
you can say anything you need to say. You know how to say it.
That's right.
That's one of those New Year's resolutions I like to try to stay away from. Because it don't sound like it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be real good.
Okay. You know, like one of the most timeless traditions of the New Year's is making a resolution. And these are promises that a person makes himself for the purpose of self-improvement and positive change. So a lot of people make them, but they don't stick to them. But they still do it. And we're going to talk about some of those things tonight and some of the things that y'all like. But like I did a survey, and the top 5 things that people normally say they're going to do is, 1, they say they're going to save money and budget better. That's number 1. Yeah, I guess a lot of people do that. Number 2 is eat healthier and improve their diet. I'm going to lose this weight this year. And it probably works for about 30 days, and then you say, oh, well.
Or less.
Let's just try that again next year.
Got to find my waistline.
And number 3 is lose weight and get fit. First, they're going to eat healthier. Then they're going to lose the weight. Then number 4 is improve mental health and reduce stress. This year, we are not going to allow these people to upset us. Okay? That's one thing I'm going to work on this year. I already told myself, you know, like, my wife always said, be the better person and just walk away. I find that hard sometimes, but that's one of the things I'm going to work on this year. And number 5 is strengthen relationships with family and friends.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's good. I think that should be number 1.
Absolutely.
You think so?
I think it should be number 1.
And I was thinking reducing stress and mental health should be number 1. You got to take care of yourself first. You got to be in that right state of mind to even want to get on a diet or even want to exercise. You got to, your mindset has to be right, because I think that's mental. And once you start exercising, you're going to want to do it every day. Okay. I'll accept that. I accept that. Because the family thing, you can't, before you can fix someone else, you got to fix yourself. That's right.
You're not going to be able to fix anybody else. They have to want to do it themselves.
So that's got to be a part of their New Year's resolution also.
And we have to learn to deal with who they are and meet them where they are.
That's something I'm going to have to work on.
Yep. I've got a couple of those family members myself.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to try to come up with something that we're going to do this coming year that's going to make it better for us. Like my wife and I talked about it. What are we going to do this year? And we said one thing that we want to do in the next 364 days, we wanted to start a shelter for, not say homeless, but a family in distress. Somebody that has an emergency. So we want to take one of our houses and we want to take it and make it just for that purpose, for emergency situations.
That's beautiful.
That is.
Because
That's a lot of planning too. And how much time would you be willing to give that family to stay there?
Well, we talked about that also. We decided it's probably about a week because we don't want you to feel like you're at home. We just want to give you a home.
So they need a plan.
A plan. That's right. Because it's an emergency. You have an emergency and you got to react right then. We have a place for you. I mean, all you got to do is just come. Because a lot of times it's an emergency. You may not even have clothes. So we're going to try to provide all those things and have it ready just for you in case of emergency. That's our goal for 2024.
Now, when you say emergency, are you talking about like, say, their house caught on fire, or a domestic situation?
Absolutely.
Cool beans.
Whatever that emergency is, but we don't want to gear it too much to homelessness for males because we want to make sure we got the females and their children covered first. Now, if the husband comes along with that package, then that's cool. It just won't be just for the male himself.
Right.
But we're still in the planning stage, and that's one of the things that we talked about that we wanted to do for 2024.
Well, that is bold of you putting it out there because you're speaking it into existence when you put it out there.
Absolutely.
Make it happen.
That's right.
That's right. That's one of the things we want to do.
Very good.
Yeah, because we just want to give back. And that's probably another show that we're probably going to do is domestic violence because there's a lot of that going on.
Sure is, yeah.
And I believe there's a lot of it going on right in our neighborhoods that is really quiet. They're keeping it quiet, but you can really tell sometimes when something just ain't right. And the purpose of this show is to try to give you a little confidence to just reach out. You reach out to us, we're going to reach out to you. Okay? And that's what we hope to do here. Okay? You can call us, text us, email us, tell us what the situation is. You don't have to give your name, number, anything. Just tell us what it is, and we're going to give you some advice. We're not going to give you an expert opinion because most of the times we can't do that because we're not even qualified to give you an expert opinion.
That's right.
But we can honestly give you our opinion. Because sometimes whatever you're going through, we could possibly have been through it also. And maybe we could give you some advice that would help you or set you off into the right direction.
We're not therapists or professionals, but we do have life experience.
Absolutely.
That's a gift of being my age, which I will not say on air, but I'm old enough to have life experiences.
So, Chiquita, do you have any long-term goals for 24?
Long term, I want to say short term goals. I have always wanted to own a home. I've been renting forever, my husband and I, but I want to be a homeowner, and just like I told you, to make it happen, it's going to happen. I can foresee it right now. 2024, it's my year to get a house. I'm 50 years old and have never been a homeowner.
Okay. And that's good because that's another show we're going to talk about. We're going to bring somebody in to talk about the different mortgage companies and rates and all of that. I got a guy that's really good, and he will definitely help you out. So ain't it something? See?
I'm going to need his business card.
We got you. He is absolutely great. He is good at what he does. I'm not going to call his name because we want to bring him in here and we're going to talk about it. That's a good goal, though. And make it happen in 2024. Just make it happen. Just make your mind up that this is going to happen. The American dream is going to come to you. Speak it into existence.
That's right.
Okay? Okay, Beth?
You know, I don't have a particular resolution, but I am trying to every day work on myself because I see so much I could improve on, and I just really want to work on myself every day and be a better person.
I just want to say, if you think you have things to work on, you're doing a good job hiding it, because
Aww.
I love you, Miss Beth. I don't see anything in the world wrong with you. What do you need to work on?
Oh, I just need to work on so much.
And our listeners love you also. You always get some great responses.
Yes.
So 2024
Well,
is
thank y'all.
really going to be your year.
You carry yourself like you don't have a care in the world.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. We won't talk about those things that wake me up at 2:30 and 3 in the morning.
Oh.
And I'm on Facebook going, who's awake?
I see that sometimes
See?
too, because that means I'm awake. But 2024 is going to be a great year because we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're going to speak it into existence, and we're going to do what it takes to make it happen. I would like to also work on me. I want to be a better person. Never going to say that we don't have flaws and things like that, because there's some things about me that I don't particularly like. And I know that I need to improve on. And that's some of the things I'm going to work on. My wife and I, we sit down and we talk about these things, and I'm hoping that when I say these things, that people at home listening right now, that you will sit down with your spouse and say, this is a brand new year. What is it that I can do to make our relationship better in the coming year? Okay? And don't try to be sarcastic or anything.
Oh, no.
Just speak from your heart, because that's what it takes to make it effective. To use effective communication. Okay?
It's beautiful when somebody is open to that, though. Everybody's not open to that. You know, a lot of people don't want to take any responsibility when things are not going well. It's easy to blame somebody else, especially whenever you're emotionally injured somehow.
Yes. And I believe it's easier to do if you say, speak from your heart. Let that spouse, don't interrupt. Say what you have to say. And then once you finish, you say, what do you think? Then that turns it over and you put the ball in their court. So now they can actually respond to what you said. But if the spouse wants to cut you off in the beginning, that tells you probably they don't want to hear it.
That's right.
Okay? So you have to practice that. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I speak these things because that's what I want to do. I want that to work for me. So if I tell you, that means I got to practice it myself. Okay? By doing that, it makes me a better person. 2024 has got to be my year. Okay?
2023 was hard for you.
2023 was hard. And,
But you have a beautiful bride.
We spent most of 2023.
You ended 2023 well with your wedding, your marriage.
But
So you're starting
2023
it
was very stressful because of the wedding. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because the planning process for the male doesn't start till near the end. That's when the stress comes in, because the bride turns into
bride is Allah. Sorry, Miss Kathleen.
and that's the truth. Because they get stressed out because they want to make sure everything is
It's
covered.
perfect.
Yeah. And that's what it just drives male crazy. Okay? So
Most women, I think, especially more mature women, usually they start out wanting to keep things small. And then before you know it, your guest list is like, you got to make sure you invite this person, and you don't want to hurt this person's feelings. And then you feel like you have to feed everybody. And then you have all these preconceived notions of what you want your wedding day to be like, how the flowers you want to have, and different things. And before you know it, it has blown up.
And when it blows up,
Ooh,
the checkbook, the credit card, it all blows up too.
yes, sir.
Okay? So it always starts out small. Starts out small, but then they start changing things and adding things, and it's just...
And look how fast the actual ceremony is over. The
All
wedding
that-
day is like over.
You know what? That reminds me of, do you do all that cooking? You know, for Christmas or Thanksgiving or the whole family? You cook for a day and a half, and in 20 minutes,
It's all over.
it's over. Same thing with a wedding. I mean,
And that's true. All of that stress, all that money spent, and it's over. Just like that.
just like that.
But it's all worth it, because when you stand there and you see the smiles, sometimes the tears, it just makes you feel so good. It's all worth it. You wouldn't change a thing. You wouldn't even change a thing. We just got to pay this credit card bill.
Ooh, yes.
Other than
In a
that-
hurry.
Other than that, it's all good. So that's how I spent my end of 2023. But, you know, doing this was a part of that 2023 in the end. And I want to thank all of you, because y'all have made it possible. You know, everything you do, there's always going to be the devil. The devil is always active. So we always got to keep God first. We keep him first and we stay positive. I think the possibilities are endless. Okay? So let's get back to traditions. We got off of that. We planning a wedding there for a minute. But 2024, we together, we're going to do some nice things for the community. We're going to reach out to people out in the community, the ones that's work behind the scenes, that really don't get recognition, but they probably don't even want it. But we're going to recognize some people in the community this coming year. And we want you to know that we see what you're doing, and we're proud of you, and we want to give you that recognition. So get ready, community, because we're coming. We're coming. We see you. We know what you're doing, and we're going to do some things for you. Okay? So, Chiquita, you already said the short term. What's that short term? Was the house the short term or is that long term?
Short term. I'm trying to be in there
Yes.
as ASAP.
Okay.
Short term.
Okay, so
Something else. So even this podcast, doing this podcast, it's like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I mean, I've never really been a public speaker, even though it's only 4 of us in the room right now. But I know lots of ears are going to hear this podcast. I mean, I work in the school system. I'm around kids all day. I can talk all day in the classroom. But my conversations are with kids, you know. I don't get to spend too much time with my coworkers talking to them. And I remember in college taking a public speaking class. I was terrified, but that class taught me so much. But I'm still the type of person, I'm to myself, you know. But stepping outside the box and doing this podcast was one of the greatest things that, you know, I can say that I did in 2023.
yes, and believe it or not, my wife and I sit down and we'll listen to it together, and we comment on, like, she will hear something. She said, "Is that the way you feel about that?" Or she said, "I agree with Miss Beth. Chiquita got it right on point right there." So that means that helps us, and we're actually the ones there. And I think that's good. And I'm hoping that the people out there listening can sit down with your spouse, and depending on the subject that we have, and comment and react to one another with it, because that's the intended purpose. If there's something that, we'll say it for you. Okay?
That's kind of our purpose, right? We're hoping to spark a conversation and maybe hopefully even make a change for the better, right?
Absolutely. That's why we're here. And I hope that we can be a positive to someone.
That's right.
And, you know, maybe we could help somebody move along the way. Because everybody can use a little good advice sometimes. Even me. please call me, text me,
Right.
email me.
And just like you say all the time, Ray, people not going to always like everything that you say.
Right.
It's up to you to, it's up to you how you take it.
Right.
And everything's debatable. I mean, you don't have to agree with what we're saying.
That's right. Because we're just speaking, we're voicing our
opinions.
opinion.
That's right.
Now, you may have a different opinion, and that's fine. And if you want to talk about it, bring it to us, and we'll talk about your opinion. Because it's about us, us together. And that's what we plan to do in 2024. And I'm glad that Chiquita has stepped outside of her comfort zone because I'm so happy to see you when you're so happy. And because when you're happy, I believe you can make someone else happy. Okay? And I just love to see it. And I'm just so happy. And I feel like I'm just so blessed to have all of you here. And all the people at home listening right now, we're so happy to have you listening also. We're going to take a break right here because we forgot about our sponsors. We got to have our sponsors in 2024 so we can stay on the air and keep on doing what we're doing. So we're going to take a break right here, and we're going to go to Chiquita.
Okay.
And do your thing.
And we have a new sponsor this year, 2024. This portion of the show is brought to you by B&J Small Engine Repair. They buy, sell, and repair. They use all makes and models, all types of riding lawnmowers, and if you need to reach him, you can reach him at 252-624-4724. He's at 690 Wilbaker Road here in Kinston. That's B&J Small Engine Repair.
Okay.
Reynolds Seafood is a proud sponsor of our show. Located at 336 North Heritage Street, you can get all the fresh local seafood. Reynolds has all of your favorite fish, mullets, and more. It's oyster season, and Reynolds has fresh in-sea oysters along with all your favorite shellfish. Love fish stew? Go to Reynolds. They have onions, potatoes, and fish cut up, all ready to cook. Shop local, shop Reynolds, where you can find whatever seafood your family craves. Call Reynolds at 252-523-3474. That's 252-523-FISH. Visit Reynolds at 336 North Heritage Street, Kinston.
Well, all right. We sat here, we're talking about New Year's resolutions and our short-term and long-term goals. But I want to go back just a minute and talk about some Christmas. Christmas was, everybody asks you, how was Christmas? And I say it was my first Christmas with my new wife. That was fine, and we was very appreciative of that. But Christmas just didn't seem like Christmas. It came and it went so fast. And it was like, Christmas gone. I guess it was because of the grandchildren. If you don't have the children and grandchildren in the house, it's just like another day.
Yeah.
But I did get to, you watch them on FaceTime and all that. And I think if it wasn't for that, it would probably have been a lot worse. But Christmas was not like we're used to. Okay? I don't know about, how was y'all Christmas?
My Christmas was pretty good. Let me tell you about one of the gifts I got. I asked for it. I've got a exercise bike. So when you talked about the resolutions and getting in shape and all this, I've been on that bike one time.
Oh, wow.
I got to get my mind right, Miss Beth.
That's what you were saying. So
Because once I get and I have a treadmill at home too. Now, once I put my mind to that, I walk at least 60 days every day. I was wanting to walk. But I tell you, when I got on that bike, my legs hurt after like 2 minutes. I gotta get my mind right.
Yes, you do.
But y'all wait until the spring comes. I'm gonna be slim and trim in the springtime now.
You're gonna be all sexy in that new house, girl.
That's what
in my new
You're
house.
gonna be all sexy in that new house.
They don't say that in January.
I'm claiming both of it.
Wait till we get to February. Okay, Miss Beth, how about yours? Did we talk about your short-term and long-term goals?
I really, Andy and I are working on some things, and I may be able to talk about that in a couple of weeks. But I don't really have a lot of goals because it seems that at my age, I always set New Year's resolutions, and I do not follow through. I'm the first to admit I do not really follow through. But I do generally, honestly, I want to make myself a better person. I want to be a better person.
Okay.
Any opportunity I see, whether it's the way I treat somebody else, and particularly the way I treat myself. I'm not always really good to myself.
Okay.
Because I don't take compliments well, and I know that other people see me differently than I see myself. So I got to work on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. We got through Thanksgiving. We got through Christmas. We made it through the new year, and we're all set right now, and we're going to take off running. And we're going to try to continue to bring to you, our listeners, our best. Okay, like Shakita said, some things you're not going to want to hear because it's not the way you want it to be. But we're going to try to tell you and give it to you the way it is. Okay? Mm-hmm. If we do that, then we have done what we set out to do. Okay? If you have some questions, comments, remarks, even if you have a story that you want to tell, we are here. And if you want to join us here in the studio, we can set you up where we can get a date and a time for you to come in, and you can tell us your story there. And if you would like to remain anonymous, that's okay. We can even do that too. Whatever it takes to make you, our listeners, happy, we can do it. Okay?
Any ideas for shows? We're open.
Actually, I did get one today. We're going to talk about that later. We got some new things coming, and we're going to just come out 2024 with a bang. Mm-hmm. Okay? We got to do it because God gave us the opportunity, and I believe that if He didn't want us to do it, then we wouldn't have got this far.
That's right.
Those doors that opened up for us in the beginning that started closing because people didn't want us to be where we are. Mm-hmm. He closed one door, we walked down the hall and opened another door.
Bigger door.
And inside that bigger door was a lot of bigger things. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason He probably closed that door. So we give God, we give you the praise and the honor and all the glory as we continue to move forward in 2024. Mm-hmm. So as we prepare to make a close, we're going to go around the table and just tell us what you think and where you want us to be and whatever is on your mind. Beth, you go first.
Well, I appreciate Ray, my friend, so very much for giving me the opportunity to be here. I really do look forward to being with Ray and Chiquita and Teresa whenever she's here, when she can make it. I really enjoy being here, and I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I'm very, very excited and hopeful for the new year. We're thankful for our listeners, and we hope everybody has the most blessed, prosperous new year.
Mm-hmm. And to keep it short and sweet, I'm very appreciative as well for the opportunity to come here and, just fellowship with you all and share my thoughts and concerns or whatever. And to all the listeners out there, let's make it a great year.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why we're here. Mm-hmm. I love doing this with you because you make it fun. And like I said, no matter where we end up, we're going to have fun getting there. Mm-hmm. It's the Ray Mart Radio Show, and we're out.
It's the Ray Mart Radio Show.
Some of it you're going to like, some of it you ain't.
Ray Mart Radio.